Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the latest on the most comprehensive breakdown of the biggest news stories in Western Visayas here in Panay News Tonight. There are now 91 employees of the Iloilo City government confirmed to have contracted SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. A total of 2,390 City Hall employees and officials were swabbed during 3 days mass testing on September 23, 24, and 25. Of these, 2,270 tested negative for COVID-19. Mayor Jerry Treñas ordered the mass testing following a surge in COVID-19 cases at the City Treasurer's office last week. The Western Visayas Task Force on COVID-19 has urged the National Interagency Task Force to schedule daytime flights only for locally stranded individuals and returning overseas Filipinos. There is a need to look into the welfare of healthcare workers, other frontliners, and responders engaged in managing COVID-19 and its consequences, explained the Regional Task Force. The daytime return of locally stranded individuals and returning overseas Filipinos via the Iloilo Airport in Cabatuan, Iloilo, and Bacolod Silay Airport in Silay City, Negros Occidental fits the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. work time frame of local government units. The Regional Task Force cited 2 major incidents involving frontliners and responders from Sigma Capiz and Calatrava, Negros Occidental. They figured in nighttime accidents. Malacanang clarified that the reopening of the well-famed Boracay Island in Malayaclan does not mean that the country is already safe from the threat of COVID-19. In a virtual palace briefing, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the reopening of the famous island resort primarily supports tourism industry workers and businesses amid the prevailing pandemic. Starting October 1, Boracay will be open to visitors from areas under general community quarantine or lower after testing negative for COVID-19. Here's what Roque said on the reopening. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat said the resumption of tourism businesses in Boracay Island would be calibrated with several measures in place. The reopening signals the gathering momentum for domestic tourism all over the country, said Puyat. Malacanang reminded tourists planning on visiting Boracay to comply with a test before travel policy as a preventive measure against coronavirus disease. It also advised airlines to land at the Godofredo R. Ramos Airport in Caticlan in the municipality of Malay, the only airport of entry in moving tourists to Boracay. The Department of Health in Region 6 launched today an initiative called Quarantine Journal, a 14-day self-care journal intended for people in COVID-19 related isolation. Regional Director Marlene Convocar said the journal consists of recommended day-to-day activities that those under quarantine can do inside quarantine facilities. The journal is the initiative of the DOH Region 6 Code Team Reintegration. It aims to promote good mental support and resilience to those affected by the viral disease. The recommended activities include reading of Bible verses, reading inspiring quotes, physical exercises, mind games, and listening to music, among others. These will mentally and physically prepare the quarantined people before they are cleared and released back to their communities, said Convocar. And those were tonight's latest headlines. This is Panay News, the #1 digital and printed news in the region. Don't forget to always wear your face masks and face shields, sanitize your hands and observe proper physical distancing. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stay safe, Western Visayas. See you again tomorrow evening.